All right, for the last day of the week, we had the unemployment report, and what we had, this is going to be a short and sweet one, because what we had is a rally off the bottom a little after 9 Central. Now, this doesn't look any different than a lot of other rallies that we get. How do we assume there might be more meat, more validation for upside for, I don't know, a decent amount of the rest of the day? And what's important, especially today, was stocks, in this case, the ES, versus something. And it was versus bonds, namely the 30-year bond. 30-year bonds were really strong. And when stocks would go down, bonds would go up. And that was the opposite inverted reaction. So if stocks go up, you watch bonds. Did they go down? And in this particular rally, it's not just the speed at which it went up, but the hidden secret that this had some life to it for some continuation was simply what was the bonds doing. So when I bring the bond price over, chart of the bonds, and you look just after 9 Central, you could see how fast it had come down off their highs. It went into the 180, 19, 18 area, which is a nice rally, and it was moving pretty fast. But then you could see it breaking pretty fast in here and then in here. So when you get the bond prices, it's almost like validation to strength in stocks. Not only did they, now this is the break that they had as the stocks went up. And that's what got me to tell the room there's probably some more upside in the S&P because of what we've seen in the bonds. I wouldn't have been able to say that with that kind of conviction and that kind of probability if I had not been looking at the bonds and if I didn't have that skill set. Look how much more the bonds went down. I mean, they went down from 180.12 all the way down to 177.21. That's 3 full points. That's a big move in the bond market. And so this weakness creates strength in stocks when there's fear moving the market. And as you know, and if you don't, you're living under a rock, coronavirus and that fear has been driving this market for the better part of 3 or 4 weeks, especially the last 2 weeks. And so today in the closing today is going to be interesting because we opened up quite a bit lower, like 90, 95 lower. We scrambled back in the ES to be down just 60. Do we close unchanged and try to get back most of the overnight losses and get into some of yesterday's losses? Or do they get just really skittish into the long weekend, not long weekend, but into the weekend, and they're worried about going into the weekend long with the unknown of what could happen? That's been the case over the last few Fridays. I said last Friday, ahead of it, that I didn't think that they were going to sell off into the weekend. And sure enough, they rallied like 700 points into the last 10 minutes. I didn't predict that they were going to rally in the last 10 minutes, 700. I just didn't think it was going to be a bloodbath last Friday. This Friday, I don't think that's going to be the case either. I don't know what's worse that we could hear about that we don't know about. So that's just my take on it. But you got to watch more than just one market to get validation or invalidate some of your thoughts and opinions. And I never let myself be surprised. So if you're wrong and wrong for long in this business on these moments and these moments of volatility, you get your face rearranged and you only look like the same person the next day. You really have to manage your risk like crazy. When it's volatile, markets in this industry doesn't let you get away with bad habits when you have them. And I always tell people, if you never made money and never were consistent trading before volatility, then don't trade volatility. You have to know what you're doing. You have to act and react quicker when it's quicker. And a lot of people don't get that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's get this thing over 1,000 so we could do live events. Have a safe weekend. I'm going to be in New York. If you want to register to the event that I'm going to be in, I'll leave it in the description column. Click on the link, register in the upper right-hand corner to the button. Doesn't cost you anything, but get you a little information what I'm talking about. And those that register, I'm going to send out a little video of what I did talk about. So that's going to be in the description page. Either way, have a good weekend.